Today on Ask Alan About Low Carb Cocktails, I'm going to make a tiki drink, one that's called the Third Oath. Stay with me and see how to make this great drink and how to make it with low carbs. Welcome back to Ask Alan About Low Carb Cocktails. Today's cocktail is one that's called the Third Oath. This uses Plantation OFTD, which is an overproofed rum. It has syrups that I have low carb versions of. It's got some absinthe. The only thing that really has a lot of much carbs in it at all is the reduced carbs in the juice that I'm using, and probably just a tad, but not much, in the Angostura Bitters. I think that comes in about 0. So in effect, we're going to do this cocktail, which normally would have a lot more sugar, but we're going to do it with lower carb stuff, and it's going to be pretty good. First thing is that we make this in a cocktail shaker with crushed ice. I already crushed this ice. There are some larger chunks in there, but that will tend to water things down a little bit. But we will start off with 2.5, which is a fair amount of OFTD. So 2 ounces. And a half. Then we have cinnamon syrup is 1.5 ounces. And this is skinny syrups. It uses artificial sweetener, so 1.5 ounces of that. Then 1 ounce of lime. Yes, people complain that I don't use fresh lime. Yeah, it would taste better with fresh lime, but this is more convenient, so this is what I use. You can feel free to use fresh lime. It will taste a little bit better. Next is the grapefruit juice, and it's only 1/2 ounce. So even though this has, this is a reduced carb, it's only 2 carbs per serving, and a serving is 8 ounces. So 1/2 ounce is going to have just a hair amount of carbs, not much. Then Falernum. I made this myself. There's a recipe online for it. It's the 109.5, I think, is if I can read my writing correctly. Falernum is something that's used often in tiki drinks, and it gives it a really good taste. There's only 1/2 ounce of that in there. So if you make Falernum, or if you make allspice dram, those are things that take a little while to make, but they last for a long time because you don't use a lot in the drinks. because they have a strong flavor. So then there's 2 dashes of Angostura Bitters, something that you basically have to have in your bar because it's used in quite a few things, especially whiskey drinks. Then 10 drops or a dash of absinthe. Now, you can get bottles that have things that make it easier to do dashes, and that's what this is supposed to be, but it doesn't work as well as I had hoped. So I have a dropper, a bottle that I bought that I'm going to use probably for saline solution, but temporarily I'll use the dropper for this. Get a little bit extra because I mean a drop size depends on the dropper, so I don't know if that's exactly what they're looking for, but otherwise I do have this dash spoon, which will give you the amount of a dash. So that's everything that goes in there. So after you add all the ingredients with the crushed ice, you shake this. The recipe called for putting it into a snifter glass, but I'm using a tiki mug because I thought that would be more appropriate. And you might as well just use the same ice that you had and then add to it to fill the glass. Then you add your garnishes. So just use the straw to stir. Add the mint. And a cinnamon stick. A little extra garnish, and that is the Third Oath. It's got a very good taste. That the absinthe gives it a little bite, but not much because there's not a lot in there. That's something that I think that you'll all enjoy. So what I ask is that you do try to make this or any of the other cocktails that I've shown and enjoy having cocktails with virtually no carbs. Again, there's going to be a little bit from the juice, but other than that, everything else is pretty much no carb because I used low carb or no carb syrups and juices. For the lime juice, there's no sugar. I made my own Falernum, so that's going to be pretty low. I don't remember all the ingredients, but I don't think that it's going to be basically no sugar. And basically, this is something that other people can get at a bar, and they'll have lots of sugar, but you won't. So try this, enjoy it, like, subscribe, share, and help me to bring these ideas of how to make these cocktails to other people. And I'll see you again in the next episode.